This is FSPN, the most trusted name in fake news. I'm Frankie from Flatbush, and we have a lot to talk about here on FSPN because nobody's talking about your Jetsies. That's right. All of the Nationals and the Casuals are talking about Kyler Murray and what a great signing it was for the Minnesota Vikings, and oh my goodness, he has all these stats, and oh my goodness, he only making the minimum from the Vikings, and oh my goodness, he gonna be so good with Mr. Kevin O'Connell. Oh yeah. Nobody talking about the Jetsies and Geno, but that's okay because we, like the G in lasagna, like a mute driving a new hybrid, we move in silence. Silencio, omerta, nada coming from la boca. And so, what is going on with this news item, Frankie? What? So everybody's talking about Kyler and the Vikings, and the people who are now, the Vikings are saying he's going to have to compete with J.J. McCarthy for the job. This makes no sense. The people who are really in the know, who really know what's going on, are pretty much saying, no. They can say that all they want. This is Kyler's job to be the starter. Now, if you're going to have Kyler Murray as your starter, having J.J. McCarthy as the backup doesn't really make sense because they're very different quarterbacks. Now, there's also been a lot of rumblings throughout this offseason about J.J. McCarthy, where some people are saying they're throwing McCarthy under the bus. Other people are saying they're done with him. And they've been saying pretty much all offseason, we're going to bring in competition, which just tells you, hey, McCarthy's not the number one, clearly, at least as far as a clear-cut number one. And now the guy they brought in for competition has a completely different play style than he does. So for those who don't know, if you want to get any kind of statistical output at all with Kyler Murray, you have to run a very gimmicky, very different kind of an offense, a lot of RPOs and a lot of gimmicks just to get him to statistical okayness. That's why he has a lot of statistics, and this is the type of system that Cliff Kingsbury runs. The Inner Circle members are familiar with the Cliff cycle. There's a specific cycle that Cliff Kingsbury goes through when he gets a job, and then when he gets his quarterback and they run the system, and then it starts to go sour. And so the Vikings do not have Kingsbury, but what they do have is O'Connell, who probably will know about all this and say, all right, well, we'll run the gimmicky Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury system, and maybe with our weapons we can figure out a way to get it to work past week 7 or 8 when defenses typically figure this all out, and then take away the things you're not doing, and then, don't worry about the things you're not doing, and then take away the things you are doing, and then that's when everything crashes. And it's basically this cycle. It's a bigger cycle than that, but but anyway, the point of all this is it makes no sense if Kyler's going to be your number one to have McCarthy as number 2 when you've already kind of showing signs that you're giving up on him. The guy who drafted him, Kwesi, out. All the language that they've been using, we need competition, this, that, and the other thing, they were signaling he's not our number 1. Okay, so here's where Muji comes in. Dream with me a little bit. The type of quarterback that Kyler is, you would want to have a similar type of quarterback behind him. Well, guess who has such a quarterback? The Jetsies. That's right. Justin Fields is exactly that type of quarterback. And if you remember, I spent a lot of last offseason figuring out these RPO offenses because I thought that's what we were going to run. And to make Justin Fields be good, and same thing with Kyler, you got to run 35, 40, 45% RPOs and gimmicky, easy stuff, screens, quick game, all that kind of thing. But we didn't do that. We didn't do that because I think we promised the agent that we would let Justin Fields try to be a big boy quarterback, and we saw with the results. Not good. But it was a nice, it was a good attempt. If he could have done it, it would have been nice. We tried it. It was a disaster. All right, well, That being the case, now Fields is looking to resurrect his career. He's not going to have those kind of demands anymore. And so he's into the backup realm here. And so what value does he have to anyone? People are saying, well, just release him. Well, here's a team now who's looking for a backup who's more like their starter, perhaps. And so could we trade Justin Fields plus an 80% buy down of his salary, make him very cheap on the cap type of thing? The Vikings have more cap problems than we do. We can absorb that cap very easily. Plus a 4th-round pick this year and a 5th-round pick next year, something like that. 2 picks and a player. Does that get it done? And we get J.J. McCarthy now. Why would we want to do that? Well, J.J. McCarthy is a former top 10 pick, a top 10 or 11 pick, has a lot of talent, but has been inconsistent. And so he would be our quarterback 2 behind Geno. And this would be a way for us to get 2 bites at the apple. First bite of the apple is going to be Geno. Maybe Geno balls out and we get the Seattle version of Geno, or perhaps even better. That'd be nice. And then we're just going to roll with that until the wheels fucking fall off. Let's not kid ourselves. If we get a quarterback, I don't care how old he is, and he's doing good and we're winning games, nobody else coming in. Not taking him out. I don't care how old he is. If he is going good and we're winning games, we roll till the wheels fucking fall off. We're the Jets. We can't play games like that. And so that's the first bite of the apple. Maybe Geno can turn it around, and maybe it was all because the Raiders had a terrible offensive line last year, which they did, and no real receivers to get separation, which was true, especially after Bowers got hurt and all this. And that was why he didn't perform more like his days in Seattle when he was starting. All right, well, if that's the case, then we've just picked up a good backup. McCarthy, he sits, he's young, he just sits, learns, no problem. And we roll with Geno until the wheels fall off. All right. Well, what if he stinks? What if Geno is actually now fallen off a cliff and the Raiders version is what he really is now? Well, now we have apple bite number 2, and that would be JJ. Then JJ goes in there. And with Frank Reich and the weapons that we're going to get and everything else that we have, which we should have a decent offensive line, we should have a good running game with Brees and the boys. We had a top 10 running game last year with no quarterback. Everybody forgets that. Add a decent quarterback in there. How good could that running game be? Nobody talks about that. And so stick JJ in that spot, and maybe JJ fulfills his promise with Reich and the boys and everything going on. That would be apple bite number 2. Then you could also have as quarterback 3 with pick number 16 in the draft. Almost certainly going to be there, though you never know. But if he is, we take Ty Simpson, generally regarded to be the second best quarterback in this draft. A little high to draft him, probably so. But quarterbacks always, you got to overdraft him to make sure you get him. Can't risk it. So we take him at 16 and we stash him on the bench. And that's apple bite number 3. So it seems to me, and then so if McCarthy's good, we roll with him. And then Geno, we say goodbye next year. And then we have McCarthy and Simpson. That's a good 1-2 there. But then if McCarthy stinks or looking bad, then in comes Simpson toward the end of the year, and we get the third apple bite to see what he can be. And so it seems to me that would be perfect. And you could also insert Will Levis into that, would fall into the same category. This would be the triple apple bite theory of quarterback trying. And that could be the way to go. And it all depends on, I would love to have McCarthy or Levis and stash them this way. And then they're in a no pressure situation at first. Geno takes all the pressure, of the beginning of the season and all the press and questions. And, the backup quarterbacks don't have to talk that much. And so Geno takes all that on, and then these guys get situated, hang out, figure it out. All right. And when it's time, if needed, they come in and we see what they can do. And then if they all fail, then we turn our eyes to 27 and we'll have a top pick. We have 3 first-round picks. Hopefully we can get into range of one of the guys who's going to be at the top next year. We really don't know who. We'll have to see. It'll be fun watching all that college football this year. And then we go that way. So I think this could be for the best. It's really sweet that the national people are talking up Kyler like he's some sort of superstar when he's really a gimmicky type of quarterback that has some stats. He does have good statistical output. But if you actually watch the games, he's really quite limited. And to get that statistical output, you have to run a very specific system, one that you would not run with J.J. McCarthy. And that's the whole point. And it doesn't matter. Maybe Kyler will be great with KOC. He'll unlock him, and he'll be with JJ, the other JJ, Justin Jefferson, and everything will be great. Maybe it'll be wonderful. Who cares? We don't care. That's the Minnesota freaking Vikings. Good for them. But if we can steal JJ McCarthy, and now that's a triple apple bite situation, hey, that could work for us. Will they let him go for Fields for free, basically, plus a 4 and a 5? 4 this year, 5 next year? I don't know. It's hard to gauge the value of these trades. Who knows what J.J. McCarthy's value on the open market is? It can't be that high. I mean, you're getting 3 things. You're getting a free backup, essentially, plus a pick this year right outside the premium range, and another pick in a very strong draft in 27 for a guy who Kevin O'Connell has given up on. So that's going to be the narrative about him in a trade market. Like, the value has to be low because, well, look, if Kevin O'Connell couldn't get anything out of him, what are the odds this guy's any good? And that's the narrative, and we would hope that narrative is bullshit, but that would be the narrative as to why you couldn't get more for him in a trade, and maybe that would be enough. Do I know it would be enough? No, I don't know. But if the plan is, now Kyler's pretty young, so if your whole thing is we think Kyler's the future here, then what you do is you go get a guy like Fields anyway, put him as the backup, and then you can draft a guy like Taylon Green, for example. Now, there's a perfect use of Taylon Green, kind of similar to Kyler, but opposite. Kyler's 5'8", Taylon Green is 6'6". Excuse me, but nonetheless, similar in that much better runners than passers, and you can run all the same gimmicky stuff with Taylon Green, and same thing with Fields. These guys, if you're just going to do quarterback run game, why not go all the way with all 3 of your quarterbacks? I don't know. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. As I cough myself to death, click the thumbs up button. Thumbs up button helps the videos. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, and please consider joining the Inner Circle for only $2 a month. You get exclusive items, including exclusive emojis and insider information with sources, sometimes, that you get nowhere else. Click the join button down below. $2 a month. You got $2 a month, don't you? I mean, if you don't do it, but almost everybody has an extra $2 a month. Come on. Let's do it.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.